outside today, this morning, Saturday, to do some lawn mowing. I'm gonna get my triplex out here and mow the lawn here and over there. So I've used my drag to kind of level this all out and make it smooth. You can see all the dirt on the lawn here. That was just so I could drag it and make it smooth. But I came out this morning and I see that, hey. So I see that right there. And I look on my camera, and at 1:50 in the morning, some idiot in a white Suburban decides, oh yeah, this is a good place to turn around. So they go over here, they're like, oh, I want to flip a U-turn. So they go over there, and then they just flip right in here, and like, oh, that might be good. So once that dries out, I should be able to fix it. All I gotta do is just kind of rake it smooth and re-level it out. So let's get the triplex out here and do a little bit of mowing. I have not mowed this in a week because I put the plant growth regulator down and it's kind of looking a little bit sickly. I put some MSM down as well, trying to clean up some of the turf, and it's not looking so good. So let's get this sucker out. So I just forgot, I need to get out my walk behind. Oh, there's some birds. So I need to get out my walk behind and get the edge here, because that part's like almost impossible to get with this big machine. So I need to get right in between these two beds and then get my, yeah, so let's get that out and go for it. So I gotta get this sucker out and do the trim pass around the edges. Just right here, and then in the front part that the big machine really cannot get, around the edges mainly. So, alright, so let's get to it. So this Toro Greensmaster 1600 is my most favorite mower that I've ever owned, and I've owned quite a few mowers. This thing is freaking cherry, and it's awesome. It just takes forever on this 8,000 square feet. So I haven't been giving it very much water because that section is the same zone as this, and I'm trying to grow grass over there. So it just kind of looks kind of sad a little bit. Looks like it needs more water, and it's been pretty hot here in the 80s. But it looks like I got some damage right here. And then you can kind of see how it's kind of brown like. I'm betting that's the result of the MSM. Some of the spray that I put on there. Finishing up the mow right there, she's trying to run away from the camera. She brings this out for me to say, hey, I made this up. This stuff is freaking awesome. This is a Pico mix with mangoes and avocados. Oh, I tell you what, this stuff is good. Just a simple Pico mix, and looks like I'm gonna go inside and get a bite to eat really quick, come back out here and get on with the mow. All right, so one of the hardest things about using the triplex is just getting the stripes straight. You can see right there, I've got an issue right there. And then here. So what I like to do is just keep going over it and over and over it, burning it in, and then hopefully it erases and makes it straight. Okay, take a look at that. That's some pretty freaking sweet stripes there. Awesome, I love it. It's so freaking cool looking. It is difficult to get the stripes straight. Not the easiest thing to do. Just keep working on it, going over it over and over again. Like that one right there. You can see it's not straight at all. I don't know, it's tough. So I'm gonna go at it at the opposite angle. See if I can kind of get like a Scottish kilt type look here. That law enforcement officer is speeding down these roads. I ought to freaking turn him in. So I've just gone through it this direction. I still have to do this section over here. This is a royal pain in the butt to try to do from here to here because I've got that big tree in the way and trying to do my turnarounds here. It's not easy to do. A lot of people have asked me if I save a lot of time mowing the lawn now that I have this big mower. And I have to tell you one thing. The answer to that would be no. I don't save that much time with this mower because now I have the ability to go over the stripes over and over and over again. I didn't have that ability before. Who do we have here? Hi! Thanks, guys! See those? More looky-loos over there. I wouldn't say they're looky-loos. They're just folks riding by saying, hey, beautiful lawn, yard. And that is nice. I do appreciate those people. So I want to tell you guys something. And that is, if you're after a nice looking lawn and you want it to shine and you want the best lawn in the neighborhood, the secret to a very nice looking lawn is mowing it more often. You need to stop over-analyzing everything and just freaking mow the lawn. Water it. So basically, you gotta stop over-analyzing things, calm the heck down, and just mow the freaking lawn. Mow it 2-3 times a week or more. If you're doubting on what you think you should put down, thinking, oh, I should put something down, or you're questioning maybe your lawn, when in doubt, do nothing. Don't put anything down and maybe mow it. So check this out right here. These are raspberries. See the yellow over there? That is a deficiency of iron or something. Not sure why they're yellow. They really shouldn't look like that. You can see the berries forming right here, which is awesome. Got lots and lots of berries. So I knew I should have never let that Ryan Knorr use my mower back here because he missed tons of areas. And you know, when I go out to his house, you know how I'm gonna mow his lawn? Willy-nilly, and I'm just gonna mow wherever the heck I want, and I'm not gonna be mowing straight. I'm not gonna be mowing for class or for looks or for anything. I'm just gonna mow to mow and then make him go do all the cleanup work the next day when I leave. Don't tell him. That's how I'm gonna handle the situation when I go out to his place to mow the lawn. Can't trust anybody else to mow my lawn the way I like it mowed, except for me. So these clowns that come around here and wanna mow my lawn, wanna get on my lawn equipment, I'm like, I don't know if that's gonna happen anymore because they don't mow the lawn proper. Granted, they don't know my land. That's Alan Haynes' famous line, know your land. And I would agree with him. If you want to make good progress on your lawn here, you really kind of need to know your land. So it's not looking like I'm going to be able to get to this section today. I was wanting to seed that, rope it off, but as you can see, it's still muddy, and I'm not going to be able to clean it up until the mud is dry. I mean, obviously through here, this was all grass, and now it's kind of covered in mud, but you can see the grass is poking through pretty much everywhere. It's sparse in places. That's really annoying. But I can't do anything about it until it's dry. I guess it's good in some way. Maybe they compacted down the soil a little bit. So this is the hottest time of the year for me. We're like mid 80s, low 80s, mid 80s, sometimes high 80s and 90s. So the grass is suffering just a little bit. So for me, I just gotta kind of keep it watered so it doesn't go dormant. So you do struggle a little bit with cool season lawn. If it's hot outside, because the lawn tries to and wants to go into dormancy, turn yellow on you. And so this area back here, I left this solely up to Ryan, and I can tell he did a terrible job. So I've got to go back there and redo it. You gotta be really careful when you're using this mower because the tires tear up the turf really easily. Okay, so pretty well done in the back. That didn't turn out so good. Pretty well done in here in the front as well. You can see I came in this direction, and then I came in this direction for a crisscross pattern. And now I'm gonna come through here and burn these stripes in this direction. And then I will be done. So I mowed 3 different directions. It's done. I do have some inconsistency in my stripes. Not exactly straight, but that's okay. I'm not shooting for lawn of the month or anything like that. All right, so I've been mowing my lawn like this for about 3 or 4 years now with the cylinder reel mower, mowing it at about 5/8 of an inch. And a lot of people will say that you can't mow your lawn that short. It's not good for the lawn, and it'll make your lawn thin and you'll have lots of weeds. But that's just not the case. I've been mowing my lawn like this every year for about 4 years, and it's super dense and super thick. If we look at the lawn right here, you can see how thick this is, and this turf is not even a year old. This was totally dead not even a year ago. So see how thick it is and how much it's spread and how much it's filled in. It's totally full and thick. So if I pull it like this, you can't even see the soil. So they do tell you to cut your lawn tall, and for good reason. You will use less water if it's tall. You'll shade the lawn. And a tall lawn does look nice, but it doesn't look as nice as a shortcut lawn for some people. Some people like the tall cut lawn, and that's great. So I guess tomorrow I'll start working on this. I need this to dry out a little bit more so I can smooth it out. And I'll come through here with seed. I'm gonna plant some seed and make this beautiful. So I've had the lawn since 2014, so I've had this lawn for 6 years, and I've never had grass right here. It's always been those nasty cottonwoods, and I've always had this plan to do this, but it's just taken a long time to come to fruition. So really quick, I want to show you my dahlias that have bloomed. So this is Miss Dahlia. It's a beautiful looking flower. Love it. It's got pretty color, purple, yellow. Love it. This one's starting to bloom. It's not fully bloomed out yet. That one's starting to go. I've got a lot of buds that are starting to go through here, but they haven't flowered out quite yet. So this one right here is called Sincerity. I need to trim this bush back right here. Look how pretty that guy is. Beautiful looking flower. So this one right here is called Mrs. Rose Fletcher. So I did get one in here. It's called Japanese Water Lily right here, but it's done and spent. I was thinking that I would have had some that have bloomed right here, but I don't see any. The impatiens seem to be working okay. Those kind of never have worked for me in the past. Next year I'm going to try Vinca in this section. It's more of a shade style plant that looks like the impatient. It's like the full sun version of the impatient is what Brian told me. I'm gonna try the Vinca in here next year. So this hose reel, I tell you what, this is made by Ely, and this thing is truly amazing. It makes hose management so much better and easier to deal with. Dealing with the hose can always be a pain in the butt. So I'm going to reel this out and water my flowers or my baskets over here. With this hose reel, I actually bought a hose guide as well. So here's the hose guide right here. So this thing just sits in this little piece right here. Put this in there like that. And then when the hose comes around here, It prevents the hose from getting in my beds and ruining my beds. So I think I have talked about that hose reel before. It's made by Ely. I usually have a link for one of those in my description of the videos. And I'm telling you, this hose reel is incredible. It's a game changer.